Playoff soccer at Wayzata High School is on the air. The Section 6 AA girls soccer quarterfinal, the 2 seed Wayzata Trojans and the 7 seed Armstrong Falcons tonight in a windy facility here at Wayzata. There are the visitors, the Armstrong Falcons, 2-8-1 this season, and they have a tough task against the Lake Conference's Wayzata Trojans, ranked 10th in the state and 2nd in the section with a 7-3-1 record. I'm Sam Ekstrom along with Sig Ligry, and the wind is the main story tonight, Sig. It is blowing hard out there. That's
not underestimating it. It's really blowing. Sustained winds right around 22 miles an hour. Gusts probably 25 to 30 miles an hour. It had a dramatic effect on the boys' game. You can see the flag almost on its end there. So it's going to be having a dramatic effect on this game as well.
You see there the capsule on Armstrong. They have been outscored 4-1 on average. They've got 2 wins this year against Coon Rapids and Park Center, but had a tough end to their regular season with 2 losses by a combined 14-0 score. They take on the Trojans, who ended their season very strongly. 3 straight shutout wins against Hopkins, Eden Prairie, and Buffalo by a combined 9-0 score. They're playing their best soccer right now.
Yeah, they get off to a shaky start. We did the first game of the year with them against Edina, and they did not look sharp. They lost a couple of them to teams like St. Michael, Albertville, and Minnetonka, but they've been coming on strong. This is when you want your team to start peaking, and they're starting to peak. The last 2 or 3 games have been very solid, tough on defense. And you can see the wind blowing on the jerseys down there. It is not warm.
There's the bracket, and you see Wayzata and Armstrong at the bottom. If Wayzata wins this one, or if Armstrong wins this one, the winner advances to play in the semifinal on October 20th. They'll play the winner of Minneapolis, Washburn, and Hopkins, and of course the number 1 seed Minneapolis Southwest at the top there. And we could be destined for a Southwest Wayzata final on October 22nd, and that would be potentially at Minneapolis Southwest, who have the top seed. So this is the pinnacle of the season, Sig. There's no state tournament. That proposal was denied. So the winner of this section will end their season with a section championship, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, kind of disappointing for some people, but as we commented on in the earlier game, every coach I've talked to all season long, every one of them has said the same thing. They are delighted to play, to have a season. They said sections would be nice. State tournament just didn't seem to be in the cards even at the beginning of the season. And I know a lot of coaches have also said they didn't expect the season to actually complete. They figured 2-3 games, somebody's going to get sick and things will get shut down, but through good testing, good protocol, and just smart handling of the virus, they've stayed healthy and clean, and here we are actually playing sections. So I think they are all delighted just to be here. They have a conference championship that they can claim, and the section championship, which they will have a trophy to bring home.
Up to 3 games left for these section participants. The starting goalies in this one for Wayzata, it's the sophomore, Rebecca Carroll. And for Armstrong, it's the junior, Sydney Smith, her 2nd year as a starter. We are underway in the Section 6 AA quarterfinals. Again, it's Sam Ekstrom and Sig Ligry. Glad you're with us, and hopefully you're enjoying this game from the warmth of your home. It is a cold one out here, and it wasn't that cold of a day. Temperatures reaching about 60, but as the sun goes down and the wind continues to pick up, it is going to be chilly tonight. And you see immediately that throw down the sideline just gets picked up by the breeze, which is blowing hard. You see the flag hard right to left, and that is at the backs of Wayzata here in the first half.
And there's the other challenge, making sure you actually make contact with the ball before it rolls away from you or towards you. There you see the effect. Ball up in the air, knocked down immediately, picked up by the Trojans.
And the Trojans, who this year scored 2 goals per game, trying to get their first chance on goal. They have it on the far side. That's rolled into the middle, controlled by Grace Estby, and cleared away from her. And Armstrong possessing the other way with Sarah Osborne, who moved it to the middle. The pass back for Osborne, picked off by Josie Brooks. Estby, the freshman, nudges it along. Jenna Bloom intercepts. Ella Picca sent it to the middle. That's popped up high in the air. That's headed forward. And a chance here for Wayzata.
Couldn't catch up to it.
An opportunity for Dana Brewer. Couldn't stick her left foot out. And pardon me, Abby Brantner actually there at the point of attack. Number 14, their leading scorer. And you see Brantner here. And
just, yeah, the wind picked it up and took it away from her.
Normally, she probably swings that left foot and makes contact, but on a night like this, the ball is an extra 12 inches away from her foot. And it's hard to say that having the wind at your back is an advantage because there's still problems that you have to deal with.
Yep. It's as we saw in the boys game, there are advantages and disadvantages either way because you can't gauge where the ball's going to be. And one of the goals that was scored was because the wind carried the ball over the top of the keeper and into the net because he couldn't judge the placing of the ball.
It's harder to measure your set pieces, your corner kicks, everything. Yep. There's a through ball for Brewer, knocked away.
Yeah, absolutely. The best thing you can do is, like they're doing here, get the ball outside, bring it in, or bring it across.
First corner kick of the game to Wayzata. So this wind is going to try to push the ball past the end line, and it's in the face of the kicker.
So if they can get it outside, let it come in. Oh, that's a lot of ball. There you go.
Nice ball.
That's exactly what you want to do. Take advantage of the wind. Nice header. Missed the target, but that was a good idea. Good set play.
That was Brantner who had the header. She's got 7 goals this season as a senior, including 2 in the season finale against Buffalo. Sent flying by Sydney Smith, who started all 11 games this year and saved 76% of shots. Estby chases after it.
Nope.
And then Wendell pick that one up and fly it past the end line.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. It's difficult to do the passing because you don't know where it's going to end up. And then when you go the other direction, it's the opposite. It slows down and then it curves on you. So it just drives you crazy if you're a player down there.
The goaltender on this end of the field has to kick into the wind, so it's going to be harder for Armstrong to clear it here in the first half. Armstrong has allowed 4 goals per game, 44 goals on the year, including 14 in the last 2 games against a couple tough opponents, Champlin Park and Spring Lake Park. We've got a corner here for Wayzata, their second, and it'll be taken by Estby.
We've seen Grace Estby before. She's pretty good at placing that ball. Unfortunately, it's going to be a challenge just to make contact. And finally just gives up and sends it into her teammate.
You need a holder like on field goals in football.
Yeah, exactly.
Loose ball, far side of the field. Falcons trying to clear it. Now, what do you think if you're the underdog here, Sig? If you're the Falcons, does this wind maybe kind of throw a wrench into the game plan for Wayzata and maybe give you a little more hope?
It might, yeah. Because they're going to take a while before Wayzata figures out how much contact and how much pressure to put on the ball. And Wayzata's counting on those passes and set plays. And if they can't execute them, that gives Armstrong an opportunity to stay in the game.
There's a shot from the corner of the 18, deflects out, and another corner kick, this time with the wind at their back for the Trojans. Regan Smith will attempt this one, the senior, who has 1 goal on the year.
See, the flag's kind of getting in the way of the players.
He
Nice arc.
Left foot over the head of Maddie Drasher and all the way through and out for an Armstrong throw.
So Wayzata moving the ball fairly well. Armstrong hanging in there on defense, but the wind is just really creating havoc. Here's a nice takeaway.
And back to Wayzata now on the throw-in. We're just over 6 minutes through this game, 0-0. SB crosses it in, ball's loose and kicked aside by Sarah Osborne. That's chipped in deep.
Those are dangerous because that's exactly what we were talking about, the wind carry and then the bounce. So you got two factors against you. And it's very difficult to judge where that ball is going to come down. Fortunately for the keeper, that was just off to the side of the goal area, but that could have been a dangerous play. So if you're Wayzata, you start thinking, let me send something way up in the air at the goal area and see if I can get a fortuitous bounce. I mean, the boys did it, why can't the girls do it?
Right. And Smith gets that one a long ways, almost to midfield. Armstrong hasn't had many touches on the other side of midfield yet, but they might here. A
first foul against the Wayzata Trojans.
They'll have Jenna Bloom, the senior, over to take this one. She's got 2 goals on the year, the co-leader in scoring. You see that ball without being touched is just rolling along this fast turf at Wayzata as the Falcons try to move into the box for the first time against Rebecca Carroll, the goaltender. Pursued there by Osborne and booted out by Wayzata. Held in by Isabel Anderson. Maggie McAllister. Loose now, near side. Trojans with it.
Nice takeaway.
The pass forward by Drasher and out of the reach of SB.
Yeah, she's SB is fast. I've seen her before. She's a very good player, has a lot of speed. But as we learned in the boys' game, once that ball is past you, it's over. You'll never catch it. By the way, the temperature right now is 45 degrees. And with the estimated 25-30 mile an hour wind, or wind gusts, there's an opportunity.
SB sends one off the side of the net, but I think it clipped the goaltender for a corner kick. So as you're saying, though, the wind chill probably down there in the 30s. Yeah. It probably feels freezing.
It's down on the ouch factor.
Quick kick from the corner. Their 4th corner in the first 10 minutes of this game. Good cross, header by Brantner wide.
Good set play that time.
Abby Brantner has been around the goal a handful of times, and she seems to be very adept at the header.
Just a little bit off target.
Brantner has goals in 5 different games this year, including 2 multi-goal games. Wayzata lost their opener of the season against Edina 3-0 and showed a lot of progress when they beat them in the rematch 2-0. And Brantner had both the goals in that win against the then #1 Hornets.
Yeah, that shows you how much they learned from the first game. I talked to Coach Pesnecker about that. He says they just weren't ready. You know, with the very limited summer season to play, and then a shortened actual season where you're playing against these top teams right away.
Wayzata
fighting for
Brewer.
It. Nice through ball.
Brantner can't get there. Sydney Smith pounces on it to our 11th minute of play. Well, speaking of Pesnecker and you know, taking on Edina, he actually coaches in the summer the Edina U16 team. He's a year-round coach, and you know, this year with the pandemic, he was just waiting it out in his winter home in Arizona, waiting to come back, and finally they approved the season, and he's trying to lead Wayzata to their 6th section championship in the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's quite a record.
They've won 7 state championships since Pesnecker took over 3 decades ago, starting in 91 and most recently in 2012. Stepping up there is Rebecca Carroll. Wayzata trying to formulate the attack. They've got it with SB.
That was a nice counter. You see the Wayzata Trojans just move up as a unit. Another cross.
Smith has it.
Yep. Easy pickup for Sydney Smith.
Smith last year, her first year as a starting goaltender, she was a sophomore. Posted a 3.37 goals against average, 77% save percentage. She's gotten a lot of reps in the last 2 years. The Trojans again trying to work it through traffic. That's off of Drasher, sent toward the sideline.
You see the wind curve that ball as it goes towards the touch line.
Regan Smith with the toss. Worked back. And forward now to Brewer. Poked away from her. Marissa Berg sends it in with the left foot, and a few hops into Smith, and Smith will again distribute.
Something you may want to consider now for Smith is rather than try and punt, try to just distribute the ball up to your the backs and let them bring the ball up. Because usually it ends up being a turnover like this one was.
Brooks has it, looks for Brantner, and it goes all the way through for another goal kick. Yeah, Smith has been working it about 25, 30 yards downfield. I'm sure she, without the wind, could probably get it 40 or so.
Yes.
The junior Smith again surveys the field. We had some substitutions for the Falcons, by the way. Their coach is Kari Torgerson in her 2nd year. She's also a lacrosse coach at Armstrong. Wayzata possession, lost, sent out toward midfield. Falcons trying to counter. Stepping up to it is Brianna Monahan. Brantner with the pass back. Isabel Anderson with it for the Falcons. Turned over to Summer Siemens. And stolen away. Trojans back with it, Marissa Berg. Good possession so far for Wayzata, but nothing to show for it. Almost 15 minutes played. That through ball was stepped in front of by Armstrong. Drasher on net, and Smith to her right to make the diving stop.
That one had a little bit more on it than I thought it was going to be, because Smith had to work to get into position to get that ball and did a good job of covering it, but that was more dangerous than I thought it was going to be.
Marilek possessed it for a moment and taken by Siemens. She goes down the right sideline. Trojans with 7 wins on the season, a pair of 3-game winning streaks this year. Long one on goal, and Smith again. She's been busy, and she's made every play so far.
And made most of them look fairly easy, not easy, but reasonably easy. As the Trojans are trying to get a good shot, a good quality shot on goal.
Bowick stripped that one away and leads to the throw-in for the Trojans. Pass back to Monahan at midfield. Into Brooks. Turning to pass it is Brewer. Drasher. Brantner and Drasher playing catch. And she's tied up Winds up with Brooks. Chipped out by the Falcons. They've got Libby Plath. They're at the point of attack trying to counter. Instead, it's Regan Smith. Sending it forward. Smith right back on it. Brewer.
Over to
Turns it to
Espy.
Espy.
Yep.
Here's Espy. And we'll see if she earned it looks like a throw in here, just by the flag.
That's one thing she's really good at doing, getting down there and turning the ball over for a corner kick. Didn't make it that time, but you can see a lot of hustle. I'm really impressed with her as a freshman. She doesn't play like she's a freshman. Here's an opportunity.
Ball loose just outside the 6-yard box, prancing to it. Summer Siemens, she foots it toward the net, and a good save by Smith on a dive.
Now that was a hard shot and a very good save. Get your paws up there, redirect it, go ahead and take the corner if you have to, but don't allow them to get it past you. Here we see it again. That was a good shot.
Great shot by the sophomore, destined for that top right corner, and now a corner kick. That's lofting in front. Brantner again on the header, and she's been on the receiving end 3 or so times on those crosses or corners, and still just a tick off. Very close, though.
Here, see this nice redirect. Just a matter of timing now. Once she gets the feel of how this wind is and where the ball's coming down, you're going to see that play multiple times, and Armstrong cannot afford to give up a whole lot more corners.
Count on the scoreboard reads 5 corners so far. There's another good cross, and that's touched wide. The pressure continues for the Trojans. That last opportunity by Ramira Ambrose. Aurora Benson
Just
commits
a
the
little,
foul.
right, a little bit too much of a push. So that's first foul called against Armstrong.
The left foot of Berg sends it into a crowd. Oh, they tried to clear, and it goes to the Trojans. And a swing and a miss on that shot in close. Goal kick.
Boy, Smith was right there. Just could not connect.
And the other Smith sends it flying. Near Benson. Benson heads it along, got it to Bloom. And more contact, that's from Bloom. And that's a foul again. And Wayzata will have a set play about 45 yards from the net.
So essentially, it's about 25 yards.
Right.
I mean, trying to calculate this in my head, and I can't do it quite that fast. Right off the midfielder.
Clip Bloom. They stay with it, though. Little space for Drasher.
Here they come from the outside.
Ambrose looking back post for SB, and it sneaks through.
You can see SB is camping out near the near post, waiting for just such an opportunity. There's a good look at number 4, Ambrose.
The junior player. A couple new Trojans coming in the game. Amaya Conway, a freshman, and Ella Novak, another freshman. This is a pretty young team, Sig. They've got only 3 seniors on the roster. Regan Smith, Brianna Monahan, and Brantner, but 6 sophomores, 9 juniors, and 4 freshmen listed as well.
Yeah, let's talk to the coach before the game, the previous game we did with them, and she's saying the same thing, that, yeah, they're young, but they're growing, they're learning, they're developing. She's very happy with the team she has. Here's it.
Sent on to Smith off of Brantner.
I thought it was going to be a breakaway, but the defender was right there, shoulder to shoulder, to knock her off the ball. The ball goes harmlessly to Smith. Let's look across the way at the coach. That's his Carrie Torgerson.
Torgerson chatting with Ella Picca. Yeah, both these teams with similar roster constructions. The coaches have a slight difference in term at their current post, with Torgerson in her second year and Pesnecker in his 31st. That's near the line and kept in by Osborne. Sent in, though, on Smith. So we have passed the halfway mark of this first half. Still no score, and Armstrong, the underdog, 7 seed, keeping things tight here.
You know, before the game, the director was asking me which person is Tony Pesnecker, because I've known him for 35 years. I said, for Tony at this time of the year, look for the man who has the most amount of clothes on, and that'll be Coach Tony.
And it's true tonight. Got the biggest parka I've ever seen.
Oh, I'm telling you, he's got long johns, at least 1 or 2 pair of warm-up pants. He's got at least 3 layers of jacket, a hood tied down, and a mask. He's a freeze baby.
This is a snowbird in the truest sense. He's wishing he was back in Arizona, but he's got a game to coach tonight.
Yeah, he'll be here for a little while, then he'll head out to the Southwest. I pick on Tony because I think he's a great coach. Obviously, his record speaks for itself, and pretty good friend. And boy, can he coach and teach the players. That's one thing about today's coaches versus like 10, 15 years ago. You get a lot of coaches who played soccer, knew how the mechanics work and how the strategies work. But you get some of these professionals in there, like Tony, and there's name escapes now, because he was a goalkeeper for the Thunder. Teaches over in like Inver Grove or that area. And these are the guys that know how to teach the game. And that makes such a difference, because you can see the quality of the play of the high school teams. Now that we have coaches and assistant coaches that can work with the players, and it's really paid off in all the aspects of soccer, boys and girls.
Well, his track record speaks for itself. All he's accomplished here. Getting Wayzata back from a down year by their standards last year. They were 8-6-2, which isn't bad by any means. They were 5th place in the Lake, but finished 2nd this year. And a great chance to win this section tournament. There's a cross by Brooks. I'm sure the viewers at home can hear the wind buffeting in the background. Still going as strong as ever.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit stronger than it was for the first game. Here's a nice shot. Smith right there, good idea. Get your paws up, stop the ball, let it get down in front of you, and don't panic.
Smith's been very good, very poised with these odd conditions around her.
Yeah, she's reacted very well, because she's getting a lot of attention from the Wayzata players. She's faced 8 shots, 4 on goal so far.
Credit the defense of the Falcons as well.
5. Sorry, I forgot to mark that.
Most of this first half has been spent on the Armstrong half of the field. And now Brantner trying to catch up to this, and it's just flying past her. She can't keep it in. That is tough to do.
It's got to be frustrating for them also, because they're used to putting on the speed and then catching up to the ball, stopping it, and then making a shot. But when you think you're going to catch it, all of a sudden it accelerates on you to get away from you. Has to be frustrating.
Sydney Smith once again to the right side this time. Benson pops it up in the air near Bloom.
15 minutes of the first half, 15 minutes.
Brantner keeps it in.
Nice.
Good pass by Brantner.
Good cross.
Back to Siemens. She shoots wide, and she's had a couple bids. That one just missing that right post.
See, that's what I was talking about. Get the ball high, let the wind carry it in for you. Watch. It's off target, but look at the idea here. That would have been a few feet over to the left. That would have been up right underneath the crossbar. No way for Smith to make contact with it. So they figured out how to do it. Now they just have to execute. They've only got about 14 minutes of advantage here with the wind.
Into the corner, Trojans with it. Grappling for possession, and Plath boots it away. Sent all the way in on Smith from about 40 yards out, and Smith covers up. Into our 27th minute of this first half. Ambrose chips it up with the left foot. Down for Brewer. Novak. Fancy footwork. Novak had it knocked away by Picca. Novak left of the net that time. Goal kick. Freshman with some nice moves. But Armstrong with the goal kick again. Novak heads that one to the near side. Kept in by Armstrong. And kept in there by Monahan. And a Wayzata throw in.
I'm going to keep an eye on number 14, Bratner. That time she got up a little bit gingerly, but I think she's okay. But she's staying in the game, obviously. Here she is, number 14, outstanding forward.
Thrown in by Conway. Brianna Monahan makes the pass to the middle. Through to Brantner. She catches up to that one and earns the corner kick.
See, and sometimes earning a corner kick is just as good as earning a shot in front of the goal area, because now you're putting more pressure on the defense. And as we all know, set plays are so dangerous, especially when we get into the sections where they really get to be important.
Ella Novak, the freshman, taking this kick. Watch Brantner here. It's lofted and gets caught up in the wind. It's still loose, though, in the box and swept out for a Wayzata throw.
So look for Wayzata. I would think that they want a short throw in, and that's what they do. And they'll try it again. Rather than fight the wind, go for the short pass, get a return, and then send it in.
The freshman Conway, the toss, and back to Conway.
Well, it took a little different direction, but it got where we were saying.
It's a goal kick. Wayzata really trusting those freshmen Conway and Novak, along with SB. They've all operated on that left wing side.
They've been doing a really good job of controlling the ball on this side of the field.
Headed by Brantner, headed by Picca, and the Falcons send it out of bounds. Conway again. Looks to Novak, and she flutters one out of bounds. The Falcons will have a throw. Falcons got a win in their season opener this season, beat Coon Rapids 2-0, but then underwent a 7-game winless stretch where they went 0-6-1 before they got another win against Park Center. Thrown in by the Falcons. Berg sent it to the middle. Brantner in pursuit. Dislodged, and Isabel Anderson.
Good recovery by the defense, because Brantner was right there almost with a breakaway. It's a battle in the far corner. See who's going to win this one. Armstrong comes out with it.
Retained there at the corner of the 18 by Wayzata. And now picked up, and a shot on Smith. Brief bobble, she makes the save. Another big one. Over a half an hour into this game, and it's still scoreless.
Even though Wayzata's had 6 shots on goal of their 11 shots. is having a little bit of a problem getting past the goalkeeper, Smith.
Thrown in by Conway. Headed along the sideline by Brantner. It'll trickle out. And now the Falcons near that flag in the corner. Brewer gets there for the Trojans, keeps it in, rolls it in front. Smith out of position, cleared.
Fortunately for the Armstrong Falcons, she missed that turn shot because there was nothing but net to go.
Josie Brooks with a try, and Smith hops on that one. 8.5 to go in the first half. There's Plath chasing after it for Armstrong. Now gives way to Ambrose. Brewer touches it along.
Look at that speed getting behind the defender and earns another corner. Number 7. Boy, you think one of these set plays is going to have to pay off.
Quickly kicked into Novak. Brewer. Novak, the cross. Brantner misses on the header, and it hops all the way through and out for a goal kick. Hey, folks, make sure to head to ccxsports.org or ccxmedia.org, I apologize, and click on the sports tab. Vote for our play of the week. We've got many sports providing potential highlights at the moment. Soccer, football starting up, and volleyball starting up as well. And CCX has had it all covered.
Bad of court and ends up being a foul against the Trojans. Armstrong trying to get something on track and finally into the Trojan zone.
Couple passes completed there, and then it rolls out of bounds. Very little to do for Rebecca Carroll, the Trojans goaltender. We'll see if that reverses, though, in the second half when the wind goes at the back of the Falcons. 6:20 to go in the first half. They go through to SB, and again, just too fast. Oh, a bobble by Smith.
That was almost a disaster. Wow.
After all of the hard work she's done, you would hate to see something go amiss on a play like that.
Oh, wouldn't that be awful?
You do kind of get the feeling, Sig, that the first goal in this game might be kind of wacky.
Yeah.
That's off of SB and popped out of bounds. See that again.
Just scoops it up and it goes right out of her grab and then comes down almost in front of the Wayzata player.
Brantner trying to settle underneath this one. Brantner, and the flag was up. Smith makes the play anyway.
Yeah. Brantner was planted offside.
See Smith trying to generate some low trajectory on that punt.
Yeah, that's what you have to do if you're the keeper or any kind of a kick. Try and keep it low so it gets through the air.
Off of Thurston and out for a Wayzata throw-in. Under 5 to play for halftime. Brooks. Conway. Pass is picked by Osborne and then goes into Bloom's possession. Stripped by Conway, though. She'll loop it for the far side, and Ambrose uses her speed. She'll try to cross it back. She does. To the middle. Thurston boots it up high in the air. SB applying pressure. Rolled it in further, kept in by Conway. She fires just wide. It was touched, though, for a corner kick.
Corner kick number 8. Having some difficulty getting the ball to stay in position. And still having trouble. There you go. Just give it a short tap and then bring it in the other way. And we're going to do it again.
Off of Bloom, and now they'll have to struggle with it. They've had some pretty good efforts from this spot that have been surprisingly accurate. SB loops one up. Again, a nice spot looking for that back post, and it just sneaks through for a goal kick.
Yeah, SB's been delivering those balls very consistently, which is pretty good work considering the wind that she has to play for. Here she is, number 2, having a very good game. Actually, a very good season.
2 goals and an assist this year for SB in this shortened season. Wayzata 9 wins a year ago, including a playoff win, losing in the section semis to Washburn. Armstrong last year, 1 win, 13th place team. A tough season for the Falcons. They played a good quarterfinal game, though, against the top seed Cretin-Durham Hall. They only lost 2-1 in the 1 versus 8 matchup. And they're trying to play spoiler here tonight. SB battling in the box against Isabel Anderson, and SB takes it away. Thurston then intercepts it and sends it flying toward the sideline. Wind knocks it down. It stays in bounds. 2:10 to go before halftime. Swept out toward Plath. She's knocked down. And it's off of Plath for a Wayzata throw. And a goal kick.
You know, Armstrong doing exactly what he wanted to do. Stay in the game. Don't let Wayzata get ahead of you, because once they start scoring, it tends to come in bunches.
Low roller that time, out to Perry Thompson. That's out of bounds off Wayzata. Closing stages of the first half, 0-0. Brooks.
Oh, that was a nice move by Brooks. Several moves, actually.
We'll see if it leads to something. Here's SB. SB's pass is knocked aside, but right back to Novak. High in the air, it falls to Osborne. Pass for the near side, out of bounds. Wayzata with 50 seconds and a throw by SB. And another throw with under 40 seconds. Conway. SB jockeying for position, and the Falcons try to clear it out and get to halftime in a scoreless game. Conway throws it in toward SB again. It's out again with 10 seconds on the clock. And the Trojans running out of time. They're down to 4.
Yeah, they're not going to get a shot off.
0-0 at halftime. A compelling quarterfinal between the 2 seed and the 7 seed. The wind was as much of a factor as we anticipated, and it will continue to be that in the second half. Armstrong with a nice defensive first half. Wayzata controlled the play but could not score, and we head to half in a 0-0 draw. We'll step aside here on CCX. It's the 6AA girls soccer quarterfinal, tied at the half.
is normal, even healthy, to feel stress. But the coronavirus has many people worried about health, work, and the future. That stress can add up and make you sick. Some signs of too much stress are sleeping too much or not enough, eating too much or not enough, headaches, stomach aches, or rashes, and feelings of disbelief, fear, or irritability. If you find yourself with any of these symptoms, take a break to just breathe. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Repeat this 4-7-8 breathing pattern 3 to 4 times. For more mental health resources, visit NAMI.org/coronavirus.
No score at halftime, so no scoring recap for you. Plenty of action on the Armstrong side of the field. Wayzata pressure, just couldn't crack Sidney Smith, the goaltender. Let's get to the first half highlights. All Trojans in terms of possession and opportunity, the number 2 seed, looking strong, but the only thing that matters is what's on the scoreboard, and the wind wreaked havoc on this Trojans offensive attack.
And the other part of the wreaking havoc was the goalkeeper, Smith. Sidney Smith has been very solid here again, making a big save. And that was a big save, right? That one right there. That would have easily have gone in. Here's another one.
The onslaught continued for the better part of 40 minutes. And credit the defense of the Falcons. They kept everything generally away from the goaltender. A lot of the shots were high degree of difficulty. And you see there, no shots on goal for the Falcons in the first half.
And Trojans were racking up the numbers. 13 shots to 0, 6 shots to 0 on goal. 2 fouls each, and 9-0 on the corner kicks. And as in the boys' game, don't be surprised if that corner kick doesn't come back to bite them.
Will we have overtime for the first time this year? We've still got 40 minutes left to break this tie in regulation. Let's pause once again here on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.
Second half upon us here at Wayzata. Trojans nothing, Falcons nothing. There's Tony Pesnecker trying to crack the code and figure out the puzzle of this wind. What adjustments will he make in the second half here, Sig?
I think he's going to play the wind the other way. Shoot the ball up, let the ball come back. The other big change is going to be when they shoot the ball past the defense and go after it. It's not going to roll forever. It's going to slow down as long as they keep it from going over the near touchline. I think that's going to be the biggest change, to let them finish and probably get a little bit more patience on some of those shots so they can get them on goal.
We'll see what the Falcons can do. They didn't get a shot on goal in the first half, and you know, there is strategically the play too, where if you feel like you are the underdog and maybe you want to just extend the game and get 2 penalty shots, the overtime is in play for 10 minutes. But if you can get through another 50 minutes, then it becomes a coin flip situation. And as the 7 seed, Armstrong may be considering that route. We'll see how things start off here in the second half. Wayzata moving left to right against the wind. It's also going across the field a little left to right, and they had an opportunity there in the box. And a shot from about 25 yards, sailing well wide. And Sydney Smith will have the goal kick. She was spectacular in the first half of play. Junior goaltender approaches. We should see some deeper distributions from Smith here in the second half with the wind at her back. So she'll appreciate this change. But now a whole new challenge for both teams to adjust to the opposite direction of wind. Thrown in by Wayzata. Nice speed. And a shot. And a goal. Wayzata leads it in the second minute of the second half.
That's what we talk about, perseverance, keeping the ball down and choosing a good shot. Let's see how they set this up.
Brantner scored it.
Yeah, well, yeah, just caught the keeper. It's a tough angle, actually, but good shot, good hard shot. Banner puts him up 1-0 early in the second half.
And that's a game changer. The Trojans break through, and we wondered how they would fare with the wind in their face, and the answer pretty well. Now the Falcons can't play for the scoreless draw. They've got to score to tie it. And here's Ambrose picking it up with some speed. Look to get a through ball. Knocked away. There's Siemens. Down the sideline and out. Trojans with it and fluttered out of bounds.
Allowing strike by number 14, Abby Brantner.
3 minutes into this second half, and Wayzata has the edge, looking for its 4th win in a row. The Trojans have not allowed a goal in the last 7 halves. Defensively very stout. Hesnecker's influence, no doubt. Defenseman himself. There's Ambrose with a throw. For the corner and knocked out, it'll be Perry Thompson picking it up, and she'll throw it in. Siemens goes down. She was fouled, and an advantageous set piece here for Wayzata just outside the 18-yard box.
Golden opportunity here for a nice set play.
Brianna Monahan.
See the Wayzata players kind of trying to stack up on the far side, and then got 2 players in front of the goal area. I wouldn't be surprised to see them strike the ball to the far post, and they do.
That caroms back toward the kicker, and it's swept out. Perry Thompson sent it out of bounds, and Ambrose will throw it in. Gathered momentarily by Reagan Gerber. There's Gerber with it back. Brooks to Drasher. Cross field, touched by a Falcon, and hauled in. Brantner. There's the Smith shot, knocked down by the other Smith, who makes the save, And she'll have a punt here from the top of the 18-yard box with 35 minutes to go. All the way back to the Wayzata defense. Played at midfield by the Falcons, trailing by a goal. Off of Thomas, thrown in by Ambrose. Rolled to Brooks, the logo at midfield. Drasher possesses. Puts it forward to Brantner. She weaves her way through Falcons and drops a pass back. And all the way past the end line for a goal kick.
Boy, Sydney Smith must have hated to see that one going. She played such a good first half.
Brantner's 8th of the year, by the way. Team leading total. 23rd goal that the team has scored as a whole. Drop pass, Summer Siemens. On it goes to Ambrose. Toward the end line, she turns the corner and lasers one into a crowd. Tori Thomas brings that one out, but we have a whistle. Foul on Wayzata.
So that'll stop that offensive surge. They were moving the ball pretty good.
Good play by Ambrose.
Correction. Free kick, Armstrong.
Falcons deep in their own end. Thomas nudged it to Thompson. Brewer tried to control it in the middle. Thompson flutters it across midfield. Plath chasing after it. Wayzata tapping it back to their defense. Ambrose settling underneath that high one. Flies out of bounds, and a throw coming for the Falcons.
So that's kind of exactly what we were talking about. Getting the ball to the sideline, you're going to have to get more into the center of the field, because anything near that touchline is going to get blown out of the field.
Lobbed in. Thomas. Pass back for Bawick. And out. The throw to Wayzata. Ranked 10th in the last regular season poll. Edina from the Lake Conference also in that top 10. Throw coming here for Armstrong. Trying to provide some kind of threat on Rebecca Carroll. Thurston chasing it down on the end line. A goal kick for the sophomore Rebecca Carroll. Just 1.2 goals per game allowed this year for the Trojans, and Carroll in net for most of it. Wayzata a throw on the far side near the Armstrong bench. Flown to the middle. Siemens. Gerber slides it to Ambrose. She makes her move. Ambrose fires and scores!
What a beautiful shot. What a beautiful shot that was. Oh, my goodness.
Off of Smith and into the back of the net. Ambrose, with her first goal of the season, makes it 2-0.
Here, City gets past the defense. Look at that. Smith trying to get her paws on to knock it out, but it was just too much room in the net, and it goes right into the net. Here it is again. This is a hard shot.
She hit an extra gear to get past the defenseman there.
Yeah, you can see the way she was driving her foot, wedging it in there. That was a beautiful, beautiful goal. Here's a look at number 4. Happy camper right now.
The 50th minute. That's 2 goals in the first 10 minutes of the second half. And the favored Trojans have a 2-0 lead. Ambrose had 2 assists on the year. Adds a goal now to the mix. She had 1 goal last year as a sophomore. So Wayzata a little more in control, perhaps, with the wind not blowing everything past them.
Right, that's what we were talking about during the half, that they, when they switch fields, they have almost an advantage because they don't have to be chasing down the balls that they're not going to be able to catch up with. Now they can. But they're also getting good penetration, good passing, and that last one was just a classic, as we were talking about. When you're a defender, once you're shoulder to shoulder, you lost the battle. And Ambrose went shoulder to shoulder, went past the defender, and had that nice shot on goal.
Madeline Orsted in for Ella Picca. Bloom tries to shoot, knocked down. Gerber turns it upfield for the Trojans. Has Brewer out in front. Brewer in a foot race. It'll be won by Armstrong. Ambrose will throw it again.
Oh boy. She picked that ball up a little bit too early, I think.
And they gave her the benefit of the doubt, but that was close.
Right.
Some contact there against Siemens, and play continues. Ball out of bounds, and the throw back to the Trojans.
So that play was right in front of the near linesman. AR1, that's Jeff Kays. Far side is Melinda Matthias, and the center referee for this match is Ty Erickson. So actually, when you look at the number of fouls called, there haven't been too many. They let the players play, and I haven't seen any cheap shots or anything outrageous. Just playing the game as well as best they can.
And you like to see that both goals in the game have been hard-earned individual efforts by those players. There was nothing related to the officiating on either of those.
Nope, no question. Those were quality shots and quality goals. Here they come again.
Trojans trying to add to their lead. Ambrose watches that one trickle out. Siemens dribbles it out of bounds.
Almost had it.
And a new Falcon coming into the game. That's Aurora Benson, the senior. Five Falcon seniors: McAllister, Thomas, Bloom, Benson, and Plath. We've called the names of all 5. Off of Benson. Brooks couldn't keep that one in. Falcons throw. Still over 26 minutes remaining, but Wayzata has added 2 here in the second half to break up a scoreless tie. The Wayzata boys were victorious 4-0 against Cooper in the first game of this doubleheader.
It was almost the same thing. The Cooper defense kept them in the game in the first half. Then in the second half, Wayzata just said, okay, that's enough. And they started putting the goals in. And it was the same thing. Wayzata had complete control. Just like the girls again, the girls team really maintaining possession, good passing, good control. And as usual, solid on defense, not giving up anything. And Becca Carroll back there, she's just ordering a pizza, I think.
I'll have a slice.
I would too. Actually, I got a piece of pizza pie between games. And it was good. If they're open, I may sneak over there and get another one on the way home.
May have to. Winner of this game plays Washburn or Hopkins. We will seek out the score of that one. Washburn in perennial soccer power, taking on the 6th seed Hopkins in that one that's held at Washburn, the higher seed. Threaded into traffic, and Bowick knocks it away.
Yep. Oh. Good idea, but unfortunately there was nothing but white jerseys around there at the receiving end. But Ambrose now with the throw-in. Battling for it, being double-teamed, and it's going to be a throw-in for Wayzata.
And Ambrose will take this one. And pinballs around. And out of bounds again.
Getting back. You know, the thing is, with that wind, there's just no way to catch up to that ball. It just gets away from it. Ambrose throws it in. Another battle for it. Boy, I tell you, they are playing hard down there. So much for the no contact theory on soccer. Right?
Under 24 to go. Siemens, nice move. Moved it to the middle. Brooks. Smith. To Brantner, who scored the go-ahead goal in the 42nd minute.
Oh, that's unusual. Brantner getting the ball taken away from her. Nice defensive play. Armstrong now with the opportunity. Boy, they need to get back into this game.
Fired downfield by Perry Thompson. That was a mile high. Benson settling underneath it. Wayzata will have a throw. Bloom knocked it free. Thompson hovering over it for the Falcons. Bloom against Drasher, and Drasher makes a good play. Oh, but a foul. Wind at the Falcons' back. They're down 2.
Boy, I would just send it down there and hope for the best. That's exactly what they're doing. Good idea. I like that.
Bloom to Hops, and Carroll makes the play.
But they had about 4 people down there in a good position, but that ball went right past them. Passed up everybody except Becca.
That was Wayzata's problem in the first half. Everything just got past. Good move by Gerber.
Still has it, still has it. Still, wow, nice dish off.
And Brantner does it again.
Same shot from a different angle.
How good is she? Her second goal of the game. Her second straight game with multiple goals.
Watch this shot. This is a left-footed shot. Just hits the fingertips of Smith. It was those high shots that we were talking about earlier. And then into the open net. Smith did everything she could on that one. Just could not get up far enough in height to make a difference.
And if you're Smith, you're saying to yourself, golly, I got my hands on the last 2, but those are hard shots.
Those are very hard shots. A lot of muster on those shots, and they're very difficult to stop. I think she did the only thing she could do is try and get a deflection over the top of the crossbar, but didn't quite make it.
So Brantner in the 59th minute 2 goals in the second half, 9 total for her on the year, and 3 multi-goal games. She is a star, the senior for Wayzata. Gerber controls it, working on the Falcons' defense, picked up by Bowick, and a goal kick off there of Gerber.
But Gerber trying to get a corner out of it, didn't quite make it. There's a good look at Abby Brandner. Well, she's been knocking on the door all game long, especially in the second half, getting some good opportunities, and that time finishing twice now, finishing it off nicely.
Smith sends it downfield. Moved out to Regan Smith. She'll flip it into the left corner. Brantner watches it go out of bounds. A throw coming for the Trojans.
See, that's a change that Coach Pesnecker made in the half, putting Brantner out there on the left wing. Because she was playing more of a mid, maybe center forward. Now she's on the left wing and being very effective.
And maybe he saw that they did have a lot of success at the left wing position in the first half. Maybe he thought that was an area that could be exploited.
Oh, I think exactly right, because we were commenting on how Westby was down there and she was open all the time. So he decided to switch Brandner over there, knowing that she's got a pretty good leg and can get some good penetration. So I think that was a pretty smart play on his part.
The freshman Ella Novak comes in for Wayzata. We're over 3/4 of the way through this game. So 6 days until the section semifinals. Next Tuesday, Wayzata will likely host. Couldn't find an update on Washburn Hopkins. We'll look again here toward the end of this game. Perry Thompson will throw it in. Drasher tapped it to Novak now. Pass Siemens. Gerber stays with it. Rolled along right side. Ambrose, who has a goal in this half. She cuts to the left. Fires off of Bowick. And the Falcons cleared out.
Well, they got it out of danger, but they didn't clear it all the way out.
Here come the Trojans again. They are relentless.
Yes, they are.
Siemens. Brooks.
They have the momentum and they know what the score is, so they want to control the ball, maintain possession, but take a shot when you can get one.
Smith crossed it in. Kicked free by Thompson. There's Ella Smith with a blast to the near side. And an Armstrong throw, the result.
Opportunity here for Armstrong to get the ball out of their own area. And still their ball.
Merrick gives up that throw to Bowick.
Here you go. Send the ball down.
It gets past Monahan, but
a little bit too far.
Looks like Carroll will get there and scoop it. 17 minutes left.
Is that the first time she's touched the ball in the second half?
Might be. She's
no, I don't think she's. No, she has not touched it, from what we can tell. From looking over at Wooly Markman, his fantastic stats, I don't see any shots or shots on goal, so I don't think she's even touched it.
Carroll trying to stay warm down there. 3-0 Wayzata. Ambrose with Novak in front. It goes all the way through. Controlled by Drasher, just missed.
Check the flag.
Drasher coming off a 2-goal effort against Buffalo in the season finale.
And again, Ambrose is so fast and so good at getting behind that defense that it's almost impossible to stop her. We having a shoelace equipment problem here?
Helping hand being given to Smith. There's Ambrose, who exits the game with a smile.
Absolutely a big smile. She's played a great game. A lot of those crosses came from her ability to get behind the defense, and yeah, look at that. All right. That's a happy camper. I like to see that.
Wayzata might have had some doubt at halftime, but I think they're pretty confident now. 3 goals in the first 20 minutes of this half. The conditions have been very imperfect, and hate to even say this, when you look ahead to next week's semifinals and finals, there's some snowflakes in the forecast.
Yeah. Bring it on. I'm going to wear my ski jackets.
Talk to Tony Pesnecker. He'll have some equipment for you to wear. Under 15 minutes to go.
I swear he's got 3 jackets on. He's got to.
Did a great job adjusting here in this second half.
Yep, I think he did exactly what we were talking about. He saw the same thing, that you can use the wind to your advantage. And once he didn't have to fight the loose balls going past the defense, he can get a stoppage on the ball, and your player can get a chance to get up there and make something happen. Speaking of making things happen, another corner coming up.
Ella Novak, second on the team in scoring.
First corner in the second half for the Trojans.
Brandner unable to reach it, and Smith shoots one wide. Subs on both sides. Grace Espy will get in there for the Trojans, and Plath will come in for the Falcons. Football tomorrow on CCX. The defending champions Wayzata at St. Michael Albertville at 5 o'clock. Football on Friday as well. Orono at Cooper. Section soccer next week, and volleyball next Wednesday. It's a fun time of year. Football, volleyball, soccer, all converging. And that should be a fun football game tomorrow afternoon.
It'll be a little chilly, but it'll be a fun game.
It's football weather.
Yes.
The first week of football last Friday night was way too beautiful. It was 75 degrees on October 9th. It was just too nice. We had to cool it down.
Well, that's going to change, and it's already changed.
Unfortunately, it has. Not sure we're going to get that back. And it's headed up in the air. Perhaps a chance for Plath. And a good job by Monahan to shield the ball there, and it's picked up by Carroll.
Yeah, you can see Becca Carroll calling the defender, just keep her away, and let the ball come through. Whoops, look at this.
That comes straight back. Kept in bounds by the Trojans. Gerber now watching Allison Pohl along the sideline, out of bounds. And another Wayzata substitute. They'll get Lily Nyer in the game, the sophomore.
You see Brandner sitting on the by the sideline. I think she's probably done for the night. I think SB is going to be the left winger for the remainder of the game.
SB had a great first half.
Now, you're not losing much there, are you, Brandner for SB? Still talented.
As Brandner graduates, the baton gets passed to the freshman SB. She's got a good career in front of her.
Oh, no doubt. But this whole team's got a good future in front of it. A lot of young players.
You lose your leading scorer for next year's team, but you bring most everyone else back, as Novak's another one of those returners for next year, and she 2-hops one on Smith.
And actually, some coaches like Tony Pesnicker for certain, he likes to have the scoring spread amongst the team rather than having one or two superstars. He was never comfortable with it. He had some players that would score 22, 25 goals a year. So they could score a lot, but if anything happened to that player, then you're going to have a problem.
Siemens has some space.
Trying to size up the situation. Here's a shot coming in.
And wide left, the shot coming from Anna Munyon. Falcons had a high-volume scorer last year, Jessica Hanley. She scored 12 goals for Armstrong, but they only won one game last season, and Hanley graduated.
So they have to learn how to distribute the scoring amongst the other players. And that takes time. And like we said, it's a young team. Coach is in her second year, so she's rebuilding the team the way she wants it. I think the core is pretty good. I mean, they got something to work with. They're just up against a very good, very talented Wayzata team.
Check us out, by the way, on ccxmedia.org. Check out those plays of the week as well. Click the sports tab. There's a shot by Brooks. Brooks hanging tough. Poked free and headed by Monahan.
Wow, that went backwards 12 yards.
Unbelievable. Ellis Smith trying to chase it down, and they just go to Carroll.
You know, just looking at the flags down there, Sam, I'm telling you, the wind has increased. I think it used to be gusting 25 to 30. I think it's steady 25, 30.
There's a battle with Nicole Monahan on the field now. 3 Monahans on this roster. Kayla and Nicole, both 10th graders, and then Rihanna, a senior. Munyon drops it back with 9 minutes to go. Other matchups tonight in Section 6, Cretin-Durham Hall hosting Minneapolis South. And the top seed, Minneapolis Southwest, hosting St. Louis Park. And I'll guarantee you that this wind has made all of these games a little more interesting.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see an upset among the matchups once we get the scores in.
It's possible. We've seen St. Louis Park. They're not a bad team.
We had them last week, I believe.
Yes, we did.
There's Novak. She'll shoot. Just wide.
Shot goes wide. Goal kick.
Good look there at El Novak, freshman midfielder. Also having a good game.
Booted by Smith. And then sent right back in. Novak will pursue it. Benson, as they go off of her shins, picked up by Gerber.
Yeah, we've been talking so much about the offensive thrust of the Trojans. We almost forgot to talk about the midfield. Midfield control has been very, very solid for the Trojans. Their takeaway's got to be about 80, 90%, which is pretty high.
They are on track for a 4th consecutive shutout win. They have a set play just outside the box. It'll be Monahan.
And again, we get one player in front of the goal area, or into the goal area, and the rest of the team over by the far post. And that's where it's going to go. Whoa, look at that hook.
Curled in off of Anderson. And Anderson clears it out of trouble. Monahan right back to it. Knocked down by Thompson and cleared by Thurston. That was a wild hook.
Wow, last time I saw a hook like that, it was coming off my 9-iron. Look at this. The wind takes it, just goes, yeah, left turn. That's amazing.
2 hands on the wheel when you're driving home tonight.
Yeah, well, you too. You're out there where I am, so
Right.
we have to go across some nasty freeways. I'll be hanging on for dear life. Ooh, almost a nice through ball.
Under 6 minutes to go, and SB down the left wing.
Whoa,
She's taken
ouch.
down, and a whistle blows.
Luckily, she wasn't hurt on that.
Thompson
Here, see it
committing that
again?
foul.
Oh, boy. That's almost cardable.
Well, we have an injury, but
Yeah.
it's not to SB. Behind the play. And, unfortunately, I don't reflect a number 36 on my Falcons roster. I've been grappling with that this entire second half.
I don't.
So we apologize.
Yeah, I don't have it either. It's number 36. We know that much.
Here's the injury.
Looks like she lost it and then went down. I could see it again. The Wayzata player was heel kicked back the ball and her leg kept going. Watch it right here. See. Here's a heel kick, catches her, and she loses her balance and falls pretty hard.
Looks like left leg, foot, and
Oh boy.
you worry about
An
the
ankle?
ankle or Achilles.
Yeah.
Don't want to speculate too much,
Nope,
but
nope, we don't know.
We hope she is okay. She's not putting any pressure, though.
That's not a good sign.
No, and we apologize again. We wish we had a name on number 36. Sometimes when a visiting team goes on the road, they do some jersey changing.
Yeah, it could be a JV player.
Novak, Gerber, Conway. Conway will shoot. And that'll miss the net. They've made the under 5 minutes announcement. Wayzata on track for a win.
Wayzata with 25 shots, 11 on goal.
10 corners and 3 goals, the most important stat. 2 by Brantner, 1 by Ambrose. Novak faces up toward the net. The freshman Conway. Upfield to Benson. Torrey Thomas chasing after it, cut off. Smith for Wayzata, down the sideline. SB rolls it in, picked up by Smith. Sydney Smith can hold her head high. She played a good game, but she faced 80 minutes of pretty solid pressure. I'm sure she'd probably want to have back a couple of those where she got her hands on the shot, but she has played well.
Yeah, you can't fault her for that last one, that Brandner zip by her. That had some oomph on it. And she needed to be about 4 or 5 inches taller to be able to even get close to that ball. You can't. I don't blame her for that one. Those were just good plays.
All 3 shots that Wayzata scored on, all very skillful.
Yep.
And there's a chance for Munyon. Munyon goes off to the right. Big save by Smith and hammered in. 4-0 SB rewarded. The third of the year for the freshman.
This is all on the foot of Nayer. Gets the ball in. SB right there to put it in. So look at number 2.
78th minute goal. SB.
Boy, you think she's got a future with this team?
I think so. Indeed. She scores for the first time since the 2-2 tie at Buffalo in the 5th game of the year.
So that time, Lily Nayer, number 18, she's a forward 10th grader, combines with SB, the freshman. The future looks good.
Nayer came in with 1 goal on the year, nearly made it 2, but the shot led to a rebound, and the girls' score now matching the boys' score.
Yes, it is.
Falcons will have a throw. We are under 2 minutes. And they have to hunt this one down.
Yeah, there are no ball retrievers in this match. I'm surprised, but was that a content to kill a little bit of time? They killed off about almost 30 seconds, just getting the ball back in play.
Yep. Nayer and Conway along the side, and now a toss in by Conway. Conway throws again. The Trojans will increase their record to 8 wins, 3 losses, and a tie. The Falcons will drop to 2-9-1. The postseason will continue for Wayzata.
But Armstrong will go home, but they played a good match. They had a pretty good season considering where they were. I think next year they're going to be much, much better. And for Wayzata doing just exactly what you want, you start gelling and you start getting the big momentum near the end of the season or at the end of the season, carry that forward. Here they come again.
Munyon trying to put an exclamation point on this game. SB on the back post, hauls it in. With under 20 seconds to go, last chance cross, got all the way through Nayer. 10 seconds left, ball out of bounds. Perhaps one last throw here for Conway. Wayzata will advance. The Trojans with 4 in the second half. They beat the Wind and they beat the Falcons. 2 for Abby Brantner in this game, including the eventual game winner in the 42nd minute. And they'll play the winner of Washburn and Hopkins next Tuesday. Sig, this one was unprecedented somewhat with these conditions and added a really interesting element to this game, and the favored Trojans survived.
Yeah, and I think it also boils down to what do you do when the conditions are adverse as they have been. You got to be able to go in there and tell your team, okay, here's how you do this, and do it on the fly, because this is not something you practice on the practice field. So I think they did a good job coaching, good job of execution. And I said they are gelling very well right now. They're on a good hot pace going into the next phase of the sections.
Thank you, Sig. Good broadcast. A couple of 4-0 wins for Wayzata tonight, boys and girls. For Sig Lagery and our fantastic crew, I'm Sam Ekstrom saying so long from Wayzata, where the Trojans beat the Falcons 4-0 and advance in the section tournament.